Perhaps we need some outside universal threat to make us recognize this common bound. I occasionally think how quickly our differences worldwide would vanish if we were facing an alien threat from outside this world.
Good evening and welcome to Spaced Out Radio tonight. My name is Dave Scott, and we are so glad to have you here on the Mighty SOR. Tonight, Khloe Devvinier is going to join us. We're going to talk everything about spirituality, Starseeds, and everything in between. It's going to be a fun show for all of you, and yeah, it's going to be good. It's going to be very good. So make sure you check it on out. All right. Dirty Filth is here with another crazy cartoon. My voice is here temporarily because I'm suffering from a throat cold. And little Timmy James is in studio as well. But first, let us say hello to each and every one of you, shall we? All right. We have, let's see here, Eternity Eternal in the gold medal position. Kitty Cattywag with a silver. Tim Mothman and his goatee sharing a bronze medal tonight. From there, we say hello to Race Fan in the number 4 position. How does that suck for him right now? David Norenberg, how you doing? Michael Morris, attorney at large. Robert Lamoth, Road Flair, good to have you all here. Bar Madison. Miriam, welcome to SOR Chat. Karen in the Woo Train, how are you? Lisa Piper is here. Lisa Piper will be signing autographs after the show. Line up to the left of the studio, if you don't mind. To the left of the studio. Kurt M., how are you? Mel WD40 is here lubing us up for tonight's show because you always want to go into a show nice and smooth. You don't want any of that rigidness. You just doesn't make for a great radio content if it's rigid. Thanks for lubing us up tonight, Mel. We appreciate it. Carol Amario, All the World's a Stage. Mr. Cowley, welcome back to the show. Oh, Mr. Cowley loves his spaced out radio. There it is. That felt good. Frankie B, what's happening? Jerry Carter and little Timmy James. How you doing, bud? I'm good. Good to have you here. Corey, what's happening, my man? Fast Hemi. John Kerner, how are you, my friend? Then let the coughing begin. We're going to get a lot of that tonight, I can tell you that. Just another guy named Harry. Good morning, Skip to Malou. Skip to Malou will be signing autographs after the show as well. Line up to the right of the studio, if you don't mind. To the right of the studio. Moving on. T-Bone, my man, how are you? Good to see you. And number 28 in your program, starting on defense tonight from Stockholm, Sweden, Lars Jansson. Yeah, he's getting ready for playoffs right now. That's right. Rolling on down. Thomas Rock, Digger Dog, good to see you both. Hippie Deidre, Necessary Dialogue, and Walter Kochabinski, good to have you all here. Millennium, my man, thanks for coming on in. Frankie B and Truth Seekers, Operation Shutdown, good to see you. Glenn John McEnroe, the Pride of Wimbledon. Christine Lynn, hello to you. Hi, Dragonfly. Marty Burback and Scott Blight, good to see you both here. Matthew Goodka, thanks for coming on in as we continue on with our roll call. Xenos, good to have you here. Hi there, Pam Harris. And Tux and Mufon, where have you been hiding? Haven't seen you in a couple weeks, Tuxon. Where have you been? Where have you been? Going to give you a little finger shake for that. Yeah, good to have you back. Beelzebub has a devil put aside for me, for me, for me. Yeah, thanks, Beelzebub. How are you? Algaray over on Twitch. Yeah, he did. No word of a lie. 38 chin-ups, pull-ups. 32 seconds. 38 and 32. New record. Right there. Hello and welcome to the radio and podcast side of Spaced Out Radio tonight. My name is Dave Scott. We're about to get going with Khloe Devvinier. Tonight, we're talking about Starseeds and everything that goes along with them. All right. We are in roll call on our YouTube side in the studio. How are you? Good to see you. Vanessa, good to have you back. And What in Tarnation is here. Ozzy, nice to see you. Scanman, how are you? Sweet Donna C, good to see you as we are running out of time. Reminder to all of you, hi Phineas on X, to throw those horns up, everybody. Let's rock. From the mountains of central British Columbia to you listening around the world, this, my friends, is Spaced Out Radio. I am your host, Dave Scott, sitting in the captain's chair of SOR headquarters. We welcome you to tonight's show on our terrestrial affiliates around North America, digitally on every major podcast network. Our website, spacedoutradio.com. We have a plethora of features for you. Rock out Bumblefoot, read the news wire, check out our swing as well. You can follow us on X at Spaced Out Radio, Instagram at Spaced Out Radio Show, and on Patreon, the Space Travelers Club. Tonight's show is brought to you by Chive Charities. Help make the world 10% happier by visiting Chive Charities today. You can find them on our website. First time guest tonight, Khloe Devvinier, will join us from the beautiful city of Montreal, where apparently they're loaded with not only hockey playoff time, but Starseeds as well. We're going to find out a little bit more about that coming up momentarily. Then in hour number 3, Swamp Dweller joins us with another spooky story. We're going to follow that up with little Timmy James, who will be in studio for the UFO report. All right. Khloe Devvinier is a 25-year-old Starseed ET contactee who is currently creating a documentary series on the positive impact of extraterrestrial contact. Khloe is the founder of Soul Aligned Collective, which is a spiritual and mindset coaching brand with the mission of helping people tap into their full potential and align with their innermost authentic dream life. Oh, could I use a little sprinkle of this? You find her on all social media programs under Khloe Devvinier. Let's bring her in. It's going to be fun. Khloe, welcome to Spaced Out Radio for the first time. How are you?
Hello, thanks for having me. I'm doing great.
Well, it's good to have you here as well for the first time. And, you know, the one thing I like about first-time guests is the amount of new information you get.
Mhm.
You know, it's so much fun to have a fresh concept and a fresh voice on things. So I'm excited to actually speak with you tonight. Not that I'm not excited to talk to any of our other guests, but, you know, first-timers always get a little bit of a better Dave experience than most of the people who've been here for a while. I mean, you take little Timmy James, our UFO guy who's in studio. He comes on the air now, and it's like, what do you want? What are you doing here? Not for you, though, Khloe, because you're a first-timer, and I'm going to have my best efforts in for you.
Thank you. Yes, I feel like we all have our unique perspective on like what's going on, and it's good to have like multiple people's like story shared, because yeah, we all like have our own different contact, and it's so fascinating to see like how our experiences like come together, and like it's like changing the world.
So let's get to know you a little bit here for our audience, and myself included. You know, I mean, you're still young. You're in your mid-20s. Not a lot of mid-20s people come out and claim that they are an ET contactee. How long has that been going on for you?
So for my like physical like orbs and UFOs, it would be more like last summer that it started for me. But I have like a very strange like memory of like when I was under 5 years old, and I've had like other experiences like throughout my high school that were questionable. So I would say that it would start from like when I was younger, but like the orbs in the sky, that would be last summer.
What happened there?
So, I mean, I've known about extraterrestrials and star seeds for quite some time. Like, I would say probably since like 2020, where I like started doing more research. But last summer, like, I went to my first CE5 event in Quebec. There's a lot of people who are experiencers in Quebec too. And when we went, we saw like a few flash bulbs in the sky, but nothing crazy. And then we were on a road trip to go to Toronto, me and my boyfriend, and we actually slept in Belleville, where it's my like where I was born. I'm from Ontario, but my parents are French Canadian. So we slept in the car. We were doing like car camping, and then we went out in a soccer field and like did like our first CE5, just me and my boyfriend. And like a few orbs showed up that night. I can go into more detail of like what they looked like, and like a lot of flashes in the sky. And ever since that event, like I would say like maybe one or two times out of three, if I go out, they show up no matter where I am. So it's not like, even in Montreal, I've had like a lot of flashes, and a blue orb show up in like in front of my balcony, and like I'm in the city, so they literally show up wherever I am, which is amazing.
Why do you think they are so attracted to you?
I feel like I've always been open-minded. I've always questioned like reality and the universe, and like there must be more than what meets the eye. Like I've always been open to uh, yeah, like extraterrestrial life. And I'm just like, when they show up, I'm so grateful, and sometimes I even tear up, and I'm like, thank you. Like, I'm just so grateful, and I'm a very empathic and sensitive being, like in my nature, and so I feel like that attracts contact.
Did you ever think that contact was going to be a part of your life when you were growing up?
No, not really. Like I said, like I've always been like spiritual, if I can say that. Like even during high school, like I just knew there was something more. But to have like physical like contact, I wasn't really thinking about it. But I would say probably since I'm like 19 years old that I started like researching like Bob Lazar and like Area 51. And but again, like I knew it was real, but wasn't like thinking about doing CE5 yet, but now it's like I'm obsessed, and like this winter was hard because I still went outside as much as I could, but it was so cold that it's not the same as like during the summer where you can be outside for 2-3 hours and like you're not cold. So as soon as it gets like a bit warmer, we're gonna go like to places and do CE5s again, because I really want to practice my telepathy with them, because I feel like, yes, we have the intention of having contact, they show up, but even if I like in my head I like thank them and I ask them like, okay, come closer, or like a flash or whatever, sometimes they answer, but to really like communicate telepathically, like I'm still working on that. Mm-hmm.
When did you decide CE5 was something that you wanted to make part of your routine in life, trying to contact extraterrestrials?
Was the question when did I start or why?
Both.
So it would be like last summer, and why is because I mean I consider myself like I love animals. I love even just like insects and plants, and I've traveled a bit, and like I feel like I like diversity, and I like to see like I've watched I'm also in the film industry, so I've watched all the documentaries on like planet Earth and all the documentaries on like life, different life forms, and it's like, why wouldn't I want to communicate with a more evolved species? Like it's obvious to me that I want to talk with extraterrestrials. So that's how it started, I guess. Like it's just like,
Right.
oh cool, like I just want to learn from them. Like I'm constantly like learning every day, consuming information about like the grander reality, dimensions, different extraterrestrial beings, and I'm like, I would want to be friends and have relationships with them like down the line. Like that's the goal.
Well, I'll tell you one thing that I have learned, and I'm going to make myself sound really old here for a quick second, because I have a daughter who's actually older than you, and thank you for making me feel like a fossil here tonight. I appreciate that. All right, but the one thing that I have said many a time on this show is that it's younger generations under the age of 30, down into the children who are being born today, who are a lot more open minded to contact, a lot more spiritually advanced. Whether they're star seeds or indigos or even hybrids or whatever you want to call it, your generation seems to be so much more open to it. And it's funny because I just caught myself listening to you, because like you're like so nonchalant about it. You're like, "Well, why not? Why wouldn't I want to have this?" Whereas I look at somebody in my generation or even a little bit younger, and they're like, screw that. I don't want that to happen. I don't want to be, taken without my permission and all that. And even people who have been. Yet for you, here you are looking at this as just another cool life experience. That's a big difference.
Mm-hmm. I feel like I don't like people who are like, I don't want this, or isn't really in their interest. I feel like it's maybe fear based or like ignorance of why would I think about what's going on out there when like I have my life down here, but it's like I'm doing both. It's not like I'm not like obsessed to the point where I'm not living my 3D life. Like I still have my 3D life, my family, friends, all of that. But it's like, if I have the chance to go in space, heck yeah. Like you said, it's like I came here to experience life in all its forms. So I'll take it. And again, it's like, I'm aware there's negative extraterrestrials and there's positive extraterrestrials, and like I'm still like conscious and like I want to be like be careful and all of that. But again, it's all with frequency, and like you can just, you feel it when it's like more positive versus more negative, in my experience up to this point.
So do you think then, being that younger generation of experiencer and contactee, that you're more open-minded to the concept that whatever happens happens while you're on craft, whether it's a positive or negative experience?
I mean, because there's some beings that, they take advantage, and like, because a lot of them work with like contracts and all of that, but the negative entities, like they're like, screw the contracts, and they kind of do what they want and for their own benefit. So I mean, again,
Well, let,
yeah,
let,
go.
let, let me ask you then this. What is the benefit of this happening to you, these experiences?
Because I really believe and know that like we have like spirit guides, and like even like a star family, where like I've probably had past lives in other places in the universe, and it's like, it's just part of me, like I really truly believe that it's part of my past lives and DNA, and by them contacting me, it's activating like something within me that is truly who I am, like as a soul. So that, like, is just positive, because it's like, and that's like part of what I teach. It's like we're so much more than just this 3D body, and like we all can tap into this information, and it's just about like, taking the time and energy and doing the research, and if that's something that people want to ask for them to show up. And I'm like, if they can activate my DNA, I give my consent. Like if that can empower me and make me a better person, yeah, let's do it.
Oh, I can see the excitement in it for
Yes,
sure. I
yes.
mean, have you then, with the people your age that you hang around with, are they all open to the connection as well?
Me and my boyfriend are like, we're very similar, so we share that passion. But like with my closer friends, I feel like it's not really part of their reality right now. But I feel like I'm attracting my soul tribe like around the world, and sometimes they're like older than me, and like, because I like having deep conversations, and to me, small talk, it's like, I don't know, I feel like I'm not expressing who I really am. So I do like value connections where like we can talk about these things. So right now I'm more in a phase where I'm like doing my things, working on my projects, and like I have my boyfriend, so like he's my best friend. But other than that, like, yeah, it's not, in my surroundings, it's not like they know what I do because I talk about it on my social media and stuff. Like I'm not shy or scared to share how I see the world, how I see reality. But yeah, for the moment, yeah, they're not. Yeah.
So what do you get on the engagement of the experience? Do you just enjoy it for what it's worth?
Like I said, like I really want to develop like my telepathy abilities and like uh, because I've received downloads before and all of that, and I'm like, it just makes me more aware and more like it expands my consciousness, and like I understand how the universe works. So I'm like, I just want to continue to learn from them if I can, if and like if they can like materialize in front of me. Maybe I'm not ready now, but the goal would be that eventually like they could be in front of me, and I don't, my body doesn't panic. That would be the goal. That's what I'm working on. Like I ask them, come closer, but I feel like they know, like they're so intelligent and they must know much more than what I think I'm ready. They know, so they, if they're not coming closer, it's because they know that it might uh, shock me. Even if I say I'm ready.
What do you hope to gain from these kinds of experiences?
A higher perspective of like reality and how they function in their dimensions, and like just like gain information about the spiritual war that's going on planet Earth, and like just like talk to them, and like if they have insight of like the true history of planet Earth, just teach me everything you know.
What would be
I
the
think
biggest
that
lesson? What do you think would be the biggest lesson that you could learn?
that's a good question. I think there's one particular lesson, but just how they operate in their dimension. Again, it's like that's just one specific species, but then there's like so many other species where it's like they all have something unique and different, and it's like if I could communicate with a frog or any animal on planet Earth, I would. I want to know how they perceive reality, how they see reality, if they can like uh, share like what they see with their eyes, or like just like if they have other senses than our senses. Like I just want to be able to tap into that. So there's no one lesson, it's just everything.
No, and I can understand that and appreciate that, but I guess what I'm wondering for you, do you think, and we got about a minute to go here, so maybe I should ask this question after, but do you think contact is easy?
Yeah, if your intention is pure, with like you're ready and you want to have contact, I think anyone can do it. And if it doesn't happen, it's just not the right timing, and it will be eventually, or maybe not.
All right. And on that note, we are going to go to break here at the bottom of the hour here, through half hour of Spaced Out Radio. And we are going to continue with Khloe Devvinier here talking about alien contact, starseeds, and everything awesome that goes along with it. And I hope you're enjoying this too. It's going to be a wonderful, wonderful show for the next 90 minutes while we have Khloe. So stick around. If you want ET contact, this might be the show for you to listen to. and we're going to get into it next with our guest, Khloe Devvinier. Stay tuned. Second half hour is next. All right, Khloe, we are clear. So our YouTube and podcast audience can hear us.
Mm-hmm. How long is the break?
We got about 5 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm going to ask a quick favor here, okay? Because I know you might be a little bit nervous and everything. Do me a favor. Try and expand and enlighten your answers a little bit, okay? Paint me a picture of what you're trying to explain.
Okay. I feel like that's what I'm doing, but okay.
Just a little bit more. You're almost there. You're almost there. We're good. Oh, I'd be so happy when I'm over this. So happy. No, just too much spaghetti.
Was it a spaghetti incident?
Oh, no. That was a horrible album, The Spaghetti Incident. I'm embarrassed for GNR about that.
Mhm.
All right. Let's see here. So where do you... I try not to ask a lot of questions that I want to ask during the show while we're on the air. So where's your boyfriend tonight? Is he listening in? Or is he sleeping?
No, he's in the living room. Yeah.
Good. Good. You're very lucky to have somebody who's into this with you.
Yes, I manifested him.
Oh, very cool.
Mm.
John Jackson, how you doing? Hello, Tina Smith. The heck was that, Dirty?
That's Sasquatch.
Oh, I thought it was like a bear going in there, but it was just Dirty Filth's arm. Oh, he didn't like that. He cut out. We lost signal with Dirty Filth. We lost signal.
He's like, I'm gone.
We like to have fun around here. There he is. Hi, Chris.
Sasquatch is out of control, Dave.
I know. Remind me to mention, I drove out to our gifting site yesterday.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we can get there.
Oh, good.
Yeah,
Nice.
there's no snow there whatsoever.
Excellent.
Yeah, it's muddy
Oh, yeah.
up at that point.
I'll bet.
I even got my Crocs dirty.
What?
I did.
That's ridiculous.
Are they
Yeah, I know.
camouflage Crocs, Dave?
I know mine are like, I got to get new Crocs. The problem with Crocs is when they wear out, those little spiky things at the bottom, they wear flat after a while.
Uh-huh.
And I like those. I like the feeling of those.
Yeah.
I mean, my Crocs are still my most comfortable shoe. You know? If I could wear them every day, I totally would.
Mhm.
Then again, I do.
Oh,
Do you have a pair of
You don't
Crocs, Chloe?
No, I don't like the smell of them.
thank you. Do you just wear them around the old folks all day there, Dave?
I will be in Crocs in the old folks' home in about 30 years. And they'll have a picture of you on there, Dirty.
I'm hoping so. Hey, that's what we need.
Mhm.
Dirty Filth Crocs. And they have the foot pad is only right feet, like Sasquatch only leaves like the right or left foot or whatever.
You're ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous.
Dave, all the aliens are gone. I'm sorry.
Thanks, buddy. When are you getting more?
Yeah.
I'll have to talk to the specialist. But there might be a Sasquatch handy.
Oh, I'd take him too. How much are they, Dirty?
$9 million, Dave. Canadian, so that's like $20 American.
Great deal. All right, thanks, Dirty. Teen, how are you? Good to see you. And still waiting for our first super chats of the night. Not that I'm expecting them, but I always just like to mention them. And don't forget, you can shop at our Space Out Radio store. We do not have ugly swag, people. No ugly swag. Here we go with the second half hour. All right, here comes the second half hour of Space Out Radio tonight. Starseeds and Contact on the menu du jour. My name's Dave Scott. Thank you for joining us. Our guest is Khloe Devvinier. We will get to her momentarily, but first we want to remind all of you that if you've missed portions of this show or others, you can always check out our free archives. Why? Because they're free, damn it. They are free, and I want them to be free for you to listen to at any time. I have that pull. I reserve the rights. See, people say there's nothing free in this world. Our archives are free. Totally free. Our website, spacedoutradio.com, we have a plethora of features for you. Rock out to Bumblefoot, read the news wire, check out our swag as well. Follow us on X at Spaced Out Radio, Instagram at Spaced Out Radio Show, and on Patreon in the Space Travelers Club. Here we go, Khloe Devvinier. We're going to get into ET Contact, Starseeds, and this is a young lady where she's like, bring it on. Hey, aliens, bring it on. I'll take you down to the Paradise City. You know, I mean, this is what you want, right, Khloe?
Yes.
Just like that. Yes, bring it on. Like, shut up, Dave. Get me my aliens. We're wasting time here. And let's bring them aliens on. Have you ever been face to face with an ET?
Not face to face, no.
How do you think you would react to that?
Honestly, I feel like I would get scared just because it's so like out of the ordinary and something that I've never seen before. But like I've never seen any ghost or nothing like not normal. So I really feel like my body would become into shock and like get really scared. My heart would start racing. So
how do you know? And I'm saying this because I know the feeling. Oh, do I know? I've been face to face with about 5 different ETs. Okay, none of this sleep stuff. I'm saying like real time. How do you think you'll react? How do you think it'll go? Because I think you're onto something that you think you'll be a little bit freaked out a little bit. I think you're onto something there.
I mean, I don't know, it's never happened, but when I see orbs, it's like I'm super calm. I'm super like in the present moment, like no fear at all. So I don't know if it's like a being that is really vibrating at a higher frequency. Will I still be scared just because it's like something so new to me? Or will I adapt to that higher frequency and not be scared? I don't know. But the orbs, I don't get scared. It's like, oh, they're here. Hi.
Okay, so let's go down this road a little bit with the orbs. What kind of orbs are you seeing and how are they coming to you?
So the first one I saw, was like right above a tree line. So it was like high up in the sky, but still pretty low, that I had like a good view on it. And in my view, it was probably like this big, like from the distance where it was, and it was blue. And it just like, it was there, and then it kind of moved like this and faded out. So it was pretty quick, that one. And then the other one I saw right after was, I would say, the same size, but that one was higher up in the sky. So it was a bit smaller, and that one was golden. But that one like circulated very slowly around us for a few minutes. And we were looking at it, and like my phone was there, but I was like just grateful and in tune, and like my eyes were locked in with the orb. And then when it like did halfway around us, just faded out very slowly. And then the other ones that I see, they're always like bluish or gold. It's always those two colors. I know people see like green ones and other colors, but to me, it's blue or gold. And the one I saw from my balcony in Montreal, that one was the same one as the first blue one I saw, but that one was it was much more close to me. But it did the same thing where it was, because I meditate, like when I do CE5, and I had the feeling of like opening my eyes, I locked in with the blue orb, and for a few seconds it just dimmed out. But that one was the closest I've seen.
The different colors obviously have different meanings. Do they feel different when you see different colors?
For the moment, they don't feel different. They both feel like loving energies, like they make me feel very calm, and like, especially when I'm a bit in that meditative state. But I can't tell a difference for now between the two orbs. But again, it's like it's only been since 6 months, like last summer. So who knows, like now when I'm gonna go out, like if I'll be able to develop that sense of knowing like each frequency signature of each orb, like that would be the goal, to be able to recognize them. Because maybe when I see one blue orb from time to time, maybe it's not the same entity or the same energy. Even if they're two blue orbs, maybe they're like different beings, because there are multiple species that might have the same color. So yeah.
Have you ever researched what the colors mean?
I have, but I feel like they always like, they say different things. Like sometimes they say like it can be archangels. Like I believe in archangels, and you know, they're like a specific species from a specific dimension. Sometimes they say like blue can be Syrian or Pleiadian. I associate the gold ones with like the Lyrans, but then there's also like Lyrans that are more like they dress in blue, and they're more like white feline beings. But there's also like other feline beings where they're like more dark, and they dress more like in gold. So I don't know. I still have some research to do. But even even if I do research, it really depends on my own personal contact and what is actually in front of me. Even if I do all the research, it might be specific to me.
So the big question is, what are you putting out to the universe to gain that contact for people who might want to know?
Again, I go out, I have the intention of contacting them, and there's a lot of satellites and there's a lot of planes, so I'm aware of the difference. And when they show up, you can clearly see that they don't move in any way, and like they appear and disappear within like a few seconds. So you set the intention, you go out. If you're able to go out to a place where like you can see the whole sky and there's not a lot of light pollution, the better. But again, they can show up anywhere, but it's better when you see like the full sky with all the stars. And you can meditate. I always meditate a little bit, nothing too crazy, because I feel like I don't want to miss out on anything. But I mean, they'll show up when the right time, like when the right moment. I put high frequency music. It helps me be in a more elevated state. Sometimes I actually like ask them like out loud. I have in my head, I have the intention like, you can come out and play if you want, because I know that some of them have like a playful energy. So I make it a fun experience, like a kind of like a fun ritual. And if they don't show up, I'm a bit disappointed, but I'm like, it's just they were up to something better.
Mm-hmm. Did they send any telepathic messages to you? Because I know that you've said a couple times now that's something you're working on.
No, not for the moment, but I've received downloads like in other moments, like when I'm doing just like daily things, I'll like receive a download. But during like CE5, nothing specific for the moment. But yeah, that's what I want, to be able to have not a conversation, because I know they don't communicate like we do. But when I do receive like downloads, it's like kind of like a block of information, and it's like understanding the concept or what I'm being what information I'm receiving. It's not like words, like we use words and communicate. So yeah, that's another thing that I would like to learn from them, is like how they communicate without using language, and being able to also send information and concepts, and without using my voice. Because sometimes like now it's like, just to put into words what I'm trying to say is not the same as like what's happening in my brain, because I know and I believe that I also like channel when I talk, but sometimes it's hard to put the words into place, and then it seems like I'm not explaining well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the messages are definitely much different from the downloads that come on. I mean, that is for sure. But like you, I would love to be able to learn telepathy and try and get my my mind going. I just don't have the time to study it. So how are you practicing to try and get the telepathy in?
I mean, I meditate every day as much as I can. I also like journal a lot. So sometimes, like when you're like automatic writing, sometimes that's how people channel information. In meditation, like I do breath work too. I just started breath work, but I know it can be very profound, and people have had experiences like even like out of body and all of that. Also practicing out of body astral projection. That can also be a good way to meeting them and receiving information with them. But just like also being aware of like what are my own thoughts versus like if I'm picking up on someone else's thoughts, because it's like we receive information all the time of like whether that be like our subconscious thoughts or conscious thoughts. Sometimes we pick up on other people's thoughts with like the energy and all of that. So to really be like aware of like, okay, this is my thought versus, oh, maybe I'm receiving a message or guidance from spiritual guides and all of that. So that would be more like practicing my psychic senses, because it doesn't have to be like information. It can be a vision. It can be you hear something. It can be just a knowing. You just know something. That I'm also like I my intuition is very in tuned, so there's a lot of feeling too of like I said, like knowing that, feeling like they are positive dimensional beings, because I can feel it. But I'm not to the point where I can dive separate them, like, but it'll come. I trust myself.
And I think that's a big one, because I know for me, as long as I've been doing this now for about, well, what years? About 14 years now, I'm still trying to figure out where I could trust myself on it too. Like I always seem to have so much self-doubt. So how do you battle the self-doubt?
I can. I'm starting to understand now when my ego is stepping in, and when self-doubt creeps in, like it's just not the same energy. Like when it's my intuition, it's like it feels like truth. It feels good. It feels open-minded, expansive. But when it's like self-doubt, it's like negative. It's like I'm not in tune. I'm not in alignment with who I really am, because if I were 100% in tune with who I really am, there would be no self-doubt, because it's like I just know. You just know. I've had like an out-of-body experience where I was in a black void, and I was at my I really felt what it was like to be at home, and it felt like I was everything. It's just my soul expanded, and in that moment there was no self-doubt whatsoever. It was who I really am outside of this 3D body. And that I I wish everyone would have an experience like this, because you just understand that our 3D reality, like it's nothing compared to who we really are, truly.
The downloads you receive, as we got about 4.5 minutes to go before we go to break, what are those like? How do you know when they're happening?
It's like I'm doing something and I just receive like I said, like a block of information, and it's just like I suddenly understand like a specific like universal law, for example. And it's not like a phrase, it's just like a aha moment of like, okay, I understand now what this means. Like, for example, how like linear time isn't like linear, it's actually like there's just the present moment, and everything is constantly changing. Everything in the universe is constantly changing, and it's like it's so simple and obvious, but when you tap into it, it's like it's so freeing, because it's like if you're in a bad situation, it won't stay the same. If like if you're scared of death, for example, it's like, well, there's something after, and it's like it continues, it changes, it morphs. Yeah, so it's stuff like that where it's like aha moment.
Are they downloading shapes, codes, pictures? What does it look like?
I mean, I can go into other experiences that I've had, but for those downloads, it's just like no, there's no shape, there's no vision. It's just like a inner knowing, just an inner knowing. But I've had other experiences where it's like more. Yeah, I don't know if I can talk about it on the show, but
Is it more realistic?
yes, I would say, yeah, more realistic, but it's because I consumed medicinal plants. So yeah.
Ayahuasca?
No, I haven't done ayahuasca, but I'm actually called to go to do a ayahuasca ceremony soon. So yeah, but no more like magic mushrooms and
Oh yeah, psilocybin type.
yeah.
Hippie lettuce. You know,
Yes.
the
Mm-hmm.
devil's herb. Oh, yeah. Yes. We have codes for everything around here. That's the way we do it. We got about 90 seconds to go here before we have to go to break. Khloe Devvinier is our guest tonight on Spaced Out Radio. When you are getting these downloads, is it just something mental that you feel, or is it something your body experiences?
It's more mental than physical, apart from that just the inner knowing. But it's not like I don't feel anything physical. It's just like a light bulb switch like lights up in my head, and I'm like, oh. And then it's like everything else makes sense. Kind of like when you're in a dream and you have a realization in your dream, and then you wake up, and just the it's not even a physical feeling, just the feeling of like, oh, I just like learned something, like I just awakened to to a truth in my dream. Kind of like that, how I would describe it, but no intense physical feeling.
Have you ever had anything negative happen during these downloads?
No, if I'm more like anxious and like I don't feel necessarily well emotionally, I feel like sometimes there's thoughts that aren't mine that creep in, and like I really need to like do something about it to like change my mental state. But if I'm just like in a good mood and everything's going well, I don't have like a sudden like very bad download. It's more when I'm already in that situation.
Well, hold that thought. Khloe Devvinier is our guest tonight on Spaced Out Radio. We're going to get into Starseed. This is Spaced Out Radio with host Dave Scott. All right, we are clear. Khloe, we got 6 minutes here. I'm going to turn things over to Dirty Filth, and you can chat with him, or if you want to take a quick break, we'll be back in a few, okay?
Okay.
All right, there you go, Dirty. Don't forget to unmute yourself again.
Hold on, I have to take a delicious sip of my herbal tea. That way, when I'm blah blah blahing away, my throat doesn't go all toad and whatnot. So, anyways, I drew a Sasquatch tonight. It might be difficult to find the Sasquatch, but also I have a special Sasquatch.
Do you have a name for it?
Oh, I've completely ruined everything. Sorry, Dave. That's all right. Let's just try to hold that sucker there the best we can. While I put that in there, that's just terrible. Yeah, I guess my soldering job didn't work very well. Anyways, here's a Bigfoot that my pal Fox Vegas has made. See, the difficulty is my my light broke, and it also holds the boom arm to my camera. So, anyways, this is gonna be the longest like 3.5 minutes of my life. We're making some aliens out of plushies and cartoons to go with them. Oh, there goes a chunk of the thing. Anyways, I think I've got it. Nope, I don't have it. Hold on. There we go. That didn't work. It's gonna have to work. I gotta go with this. I can just move it over here. Anyways, this is a prototype of a Sasquatch that Fox Vegas has made. It could probably run through the forest with this Sasquatch. It's fairly durable. It survived the bike ride home. And we made a couple aliens. Unfortunately, everybody, I have to tell you now, all of the aliens, Carl, Stanton, and Alan, have been sold. They found homes. So perhaps maybe we'll do another collaboration here. But this game may be up for adoption. You might have to talk to the creator, Dave.
He's very cute.
Yeah, I might actually have to purchase it myself. Nonetheless, though, he's even got these little foot pads there. Look at those things.
Aww.
And the thing about them is they don't leave footprints, so you can never follow a Sasquatch through the forest. So I gotta ask you, Khloe, what do you think about like Sasquatch or Dogman or things like that?
Yeah, I think they're multi-dimensional beings and that they share the planet with us, but they're just in another dimension, and sometimes they cloak in and other times they don't let us see them because they don't want to be disturbed. But it's the same thing with like ghosts, it's like just all these dimensions are here simultaneously, but we don't perceive it, or we do if we're more open to those dimensions. Yeah.
Interesting. A friend of mine had an interesting encounter years ago when she was younger, and she lived in a place called Star, Alberta. It's mostly flat out there, and her and her sister both said that they heard it sounded like somebody drove a car into the side of their house, and they went out to look out the front window, and walking down their driveway was an albino Sasquatch with a smaller child-sized Sasquatch, I guess. Never heard the albino Sasquatch thing too much. Anyways, rambling away, Dave. Hey, Dave.
Hey,
Look at that. This guy's
I'm
got a
back.
hairier chest than I do.
barely.
Just a little bit. If you want to, if you'd like to take him home, you might be able to talk to my friend. I can get in touch with her.
Yeah. That's awesome, Dirty Filth. I love the fact that you're creating your cartoons into plushies.
I'm not creating them, my pal is. And here's the Sasquatch that I drew tonight.
Can't even see him.
Yeah,
It's camouflaged.
All right, Dave, I love you.
Love
Thanks,
you too,
everybody,
buddy.
for watching the
Take
show
care.
tonight. See you guys tomorrow.
That's Dirty Filth, everybody. Filthy.com, his website. Get his books. Flat Six, how you doing? Woo Poo, how you doing? Still waiting for our first super chatter of the night. And don't forget, you can shop at our Spaced Out Radio store. We do not have ugly swag, people. No ugly swag. Oh, my throat hurts. Yeah, old Davey's getting a throat cold. Kayvon, how are you? The plushie maker right there. You and I will talk to Filthy together. We'll get him on our website. Here we go. The second hour of Spaced Out Radio tonight. My name is Dave Scott. We have Khloe Devvinier here. What's it like being Starseed? Hey, I want to say hello to everyone listening in on our terrestrial affiliates around North America, digitally on every major podcast network. Our website, spacedoutradio.com, we have a plethora of features for you. Rock out to Bumblefoot, read the news wire, check out our swag as well. Follow us on X at Spaced Out Radio, Instagram at Spaced Out Radio Show, and on Patreon in the Space Travelers Club. The Desert Clam has set the password for tonight in the SOR Space Travelers Club. Kelter. Kelter is your password. Use it wisely, Space Travelers, as the Clam sets the password each and every night right here on Spaced Out Radio. Let's talk with Khloe Devvinier, who is here. Going to talk about Starseeds. Are you a Starseed, Khloe?
Yes, I am.
What is that like? Before we get into that, for our audience who may not know, explain to us what a Starseed is.
Yeah, so for me, a starseed is a incarnated soul that originates from other places in the universe, from most probably like other planets with other extraterrestrial species, and they incarnate at this specific time to help awaken humans that forgot where we actually are from, because we've been suppressed for a really, really long time, and systems have been put into place to keep us small and to keep us in fear-based negative mentalities. And Starseeds are here to share a different perspective about reality and what is really going on, and share knowledge that isn't in the mainstream history, and just help raise the frequency of the planet, and that's my own definition. And also, like, for me, in my experience, I never really like fit in. Like, yes, I made friends and everything like easily, but like I said, like small talk and all of that, like I feel like I've always wanted to have deep conversations about the universe, reality, dimensions, and all of that. And that has always been within me. And my dad is a movie collector, and he like I watched all this science fiction movies growing up, and that's why I went to film school also, because I want to do documentaries and share this knowledge. But just like watching ET when I was like super young, like I had like my mouth open and just like wanting to be friends with ET, and just like relating to all the science fiction movies. And it's just like so obvious to me, like, yeah, of course, like time travel and all of that exists. Like, it's just, for me, it never was like hard to wrap my head around. So yeah, that's just like my own experience of just always being curious and like questioning everything, like the school system. Like when I was in high school, I was just like, why am I forced to learn these specific things, like when I don't resonate with it? Like I just question authority and all of that, and always knew there was more than what meets the eye.
How did you figure out that you were a starseed?
So again, like I've always been open-minded, and I just always knew deep down that extraterrestrials existed. And when COVID happened, I was like forced to be at home, and I just started doing a lot of research and would listen to a bunch of YouTube videos, interviews, documentaries, all of that. And when the topic of starseed came up, I was like, okay, it just like clicked in my head, and like I just resonated with everything that they said, and dove deep into starseeds. And there's like different like uh, things about different types of starseeds, but I like relate to multiple of them. So I don't think I'm one specific type of starseed, and I don't want to put like any label, but it's just like it's the word starseed became more popular, so that's why I use it. But it's just like I know that. And also when my mom, like when I was a really young baby, I have memories of like when my mom was breastfeeding me, and she told me like later that she was like, she just knew that I was an old soul, like looking like in my eyes. Like we're very intuitive beings, and like that's like, if we get into energetics, like there's the masculine and the feminine, and we're very intuitive beings. So when I say that my mom knew I was an old soul, like of course there's no physical proof that I am an old soul, but sometimes you just gotta trust your inner gut feeling and your inner knowing. And so maybe these concepts seem very vague to some people, but it's just sharing my own experience, and trying to explain as good as I can with the words I have. But yeah, so doing all the research about starseeds, it just clicked that I was part of them.
Do you ever feel that you are not from here?
I've had that feeling of like kind of like what the purpose, or like just not understanding the human nature, and like thinking that people were dumb doing things that they do, like just not like resonating with what humans do sometimes. But like I said, I'm still like attached to my human 3D self. But yeah, there were a few times in my life where I was just like, who am I? Like, who am I really? And ask questions like, can I ever not exist? Do you know what I mean? Like, what would it be like to not exist? Questions like that. I've always questioned myself and my place here. And so, but I mean, I still enjoy my human incarnation as much as I can with what I have. And I'm grateful. And I have, like, I've always been like, I have big dreams, big visions. And now that I understand like more how the universe works, it's like, it's just like, it's fun to see my life unfolding in front of me. And I'm happy that I understand all of these concepts now, and I can like use it to my advantage. And I understand that I'm the creator of my reality. And yeah, it feels empowering to know all of this at my age.
What has empowered you with it? With learning this?
Just understanding that I'm much more than Khloe de Chevigny. And no matter what happens, when I die, I know that I'm going back to who I really am. And I don't, yes, I have like, sometimes I'll have anxiety and all of that. Like, it's part of the human experience. But at the end of the day, like, I just know that it's just a game, it's an illusion. So let's just have fun with what we have and make the best out of it. And I'll be proud at the end of my life that I did all the things that I wanted to experience, and not have any, oh, I should have done this or I should have done that, because I know that I create my reality. So I get to choose how I want to live, and not follow the mainstream, or do what people, not do what society tells us we should do, and create my own path in the world, and impact people with my message, and inspire other people to speak their truth, no matter no matter what other people say. And just like encourage people to be their authentic self. And like, I'm an artist, and I've always have been an artist, and I always will be, and I honor it, because I'm multi-dimensional. And it's like, I don't identify myself as one thing. Like, I'm multiple things at the same time, and that's okay. You don't have to be one thing. You're not just your career, or you're not just a mother, or you know what I mean? Like, you're just so much more than labels.
Oh, very, very true. And I can understand with that. But there's a spiritual aspect of being a starseed that comes along with it, because it's like you've been come through this gateway of humanity and spiritual belief. And how has that really constructed how you live your life now?
I follow my intuition. If people like give me advice, but they're not living the life that I desire, like, I understand that I don't need to follow people's advice. Like, I know that sometimes it comes from their heart, or maybe not. Like, sometimes it's just like people project their own fears onto you, and like I'm able to kind of see through it, and like it helps me like stand strong in who I am and what I believe in and my inner truths. And at the end of the day, like, I truly believe that we're all connected, and like at the higher like dimensions, it's like we're all one with source, if you want to call it that. And so like treating people with respect and being kind to others. And yeah, I don't know where I was going with that, but yeah.
Do you think then, with the spiritual aspect of the whole starseed phenomena, do you think that it is giving you a purpose of healing and guidance towards other people?
Healing and guidance, what do you mean?
In helping other people?
I mean, yeah, because like I said, at the end of the day, like we're all one, and we're all like fragments of the same energy. So it's like, and it's also like the butterfly effect of, if you do good, if I choose to do good in this lifetime, well, it like ripples out towards the collective. And then it also like me speaking my truth is like it can help activate other people, awaken other people that might have been completely lost in the illusion for a long time. And just that, it's like it helps shift the collective. And so, and also when you do like healing, which I believe we do all our life, we also heal like our ancestors and past life trauma and all of that. So that's again when I was talking about time, like that everything is happening all at once. So it's like what we decide to do here impacts other realities too in the bigger picture. So yeah, that's also like concepts that with time and with all my research and my inner knowing that I've come to conclusion. But I'm learning every day, and I'm expanding every day, and maybe a year from now I'm gonna change my perspective on things. But so yes, when you do your inner healing work and your shadow work, it's good for the collective. It's not just a selfish thing that you're doing. It's like it's helping move that energy in that direction.
How do you move the energy? How does that work for you? I know for me, it's about meditating on people. I know it's about, trying to keep a clean body, life, mind, and soul. For you, how does it work?
Same thing as you, but it's also like taking like aligned action in the direction that I want to go, and like overcoming fears, doubts, because I mean the energy behind like how we show up in our everyday life kind of has to do with that. Like if, for example, you're too much in your masculine energy, well, you tend to be controlling, like you want to control everything, or like you might be a bit more workaholic, or just trying to like control everything. Whereas if you're like in balance with your feminine energy, you understand that there's also like intuition, like you can be in the receiving energy where you just trust that the universe has your back with taking action. It's like you need it. It's a to be in harmony and in balance. It's about being like using both of those energies. But a lot of people for a long time have been too much in the masculine energy, as we know, and that's where like feminism and all of that is going on. But it's not about like raising the feminine energy. It's about like finding a balance between both of them. So it's also understanding that yes, you can trust and try and manifest your dreams and all of that, but if you don't take small steps towards that reality, then it won't move in that direction. So it's about understanding that it's about using both, as also meditate and eating clean and all of that.
The divine feminine is a big part of the Starseed awakening. Why is that?
Because it's been suppressed for a very long time, and once you understand that you need both of them to be in balance and harmony, it's like the yin and yang, then it's important to honor that side of us. And it's like, it's energies, it's not about gender, it's everyone. So I feel that it's more like easy for us to understand that, because it's like the universe has multiple laws, right? So that's one of them. And then you understand the other laws of the universe, and then it's like it all makes sense, and then you can live a happy life.
2
Alive
minutes.
and happy.
2 minutes to go before we have to go to break here at the bottom of the hour. Chloe de Chevigny is our guest tonight on Spaced Out Radio, talking about Starseeds. When you awakened to your Starseed ability, did you ever have dreams or visions of being or coming from off planet?
I've had the past life regression where I tapped into past lives, but dreams, I mostly have dreams of being like contacted, but again, like not, it's more like up in the sky, spaceships coming down, and I'm like, finally, disclosure. But there's also like, I know that I do a lot of work in my sleeping state, because a lot of the time, like, it's very weird. Like I'm in the phase where I'm waking up, and I'm like, oh my god, like I just learned something, and like I can't wait to wake up and use what I learned. But then it's like I instantly forget it. It's crazy how the human mind forgets. So there's that. But yeah, a lot of UFOs showing up in the sky, like very close, but not face to face extraterrestrials. But maybe, but I don't remember a lot of my dreams. That's something else I want to work on, is doing the effort to like have a dream journal, because I'm like, oh, I'll remember, but then I'll fall back asleep, and then it's like it's done, it's gone.
Oh yeah. Hold right there. We're going to go to break. We got Khloe Devvinier for another 30 minutes on Spaced Out Radio. It's entertaining so far. And we'll be back.
You're listening to Spaced Out Radio with your host, Dave Scott.
All right, we are clear. Double bass asking, Dave, have you ever changed oil on your own car before? No, that's why I hire people to do it. Do you know how to fix your own gas furnace like I do? No, I'm a desk jockey. I've been a desk jockey for like 30 years. I don't know how to do that stuff. Hypersonic, how are you? It's that time of the night. Tim, I'm going to turn your... Here, come on over here for a sec, Tim.
Yes.
It's Juliana's birthday. And a 1 and a 2 and a 1, 2, 3. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you, Juliana. Happy birthday, dear Juliana. Happy birthday to you. Beautiful. Thanks, man.
All right.
I get the hell back over there.
Sorry, sir.
Mm-hmm. That's the way we roll in the Shire here. You're going to get a happy birthday from us, damn it.
Just noticed this was on the ground.
Yeah, camera's on the ground.
Yeah, let's just do it from the
Uh-huh. And thanks for joining in, Khloe.
Yeah, for sure.
Nice.
Okay.
Now you unplugged it.
No, I didn't. Don't.
You totally did.
Still plugged in. I'm looking at it.
Well, it was acting weird.
I think we're good now.
All right. Now you're crooked.
Well, yeah, I'm upside down too.
What the hell are you doing?
Hey, I'm a desk jockey. Whatever.
Apparently because I don't change my own oil now.
Yeah, because everybody knows how to do that, right?
It's real simple. I choose not to do it. It's one bolt.
That's right. Exactly.
It's one bolt, drain, change the filter.
And you
New
see the
filter on?
thing. You called it a bolt, not a screw.
Uh-huh.
You got it.
And then pour new oil in.
You change your filter too.
Of course you have to. While you're draining. Uh-huh. Well, Christine wants to know about your sleep study. We'll when Tim comes on in hour 3. Dave can't do an Earl change. Excuse me. Moody Mongol, how are you weirdo? What the hell is an Earl change?
Earl? Don't change Earl.
I don't get that. Cranky people tonight.
Yeah, settle down.
Settle down, people in the chat room. And by the way, if I need my oil change, I'd get Tim to do it. Mm-hmm. Hope many of you hit up Cable Guy Matt for your free piece of coaxial cable autographed by Cable Guy Matt. Remember, folks, you cannot buy these in stores. I wonder if he's still listening. Probably not. He probably went to bed. T-Bone. Thank ye, T-Bone. Thank you to T-Bone, Fast Hemi times 2, Marty Burback, Blue Cruise, and Chris Teen for the super chat. Kimberly Burgess returns, everybody. Kimberly Burgess has returned. Where have you been hiding, young lady? How you feeling? Give us an update. She's like 2 months tardy right now. I ate too much. Still feeling it. 30 seconds. It's phonetically redneck for oil. Oh. I don't speak American. Sorry. Merle's not here. Why do you guys keep saying Merle in the chat room? All right. We got like 12 seconds, Chloe. She has nice hair, doesn't she? Chloe has nice hair. Yeah. Let's give her a thumbs up for her hair. Here we go. Here we go with the second half of Spaced Out Radio tonight. Talking Starseeds with Khloe Devvinier right here on Mighty SOR. My name is Dave Scott. Thank you for tuning us in wherever you are on this beautiful planet we call Earth. Reminder to all of you that if you missed portions of this show or others, our archives are always free. Why? Because I want them that way. You don't deserve to pay for them. I'll eat the cost. I'll do the work too. Put them up there for you. Just hit subscribe, ring that bell on YouTube or any major podcast network. Our website, spacedoutradio.com. We have a plethora of features for you. Rock out to Bumblefoot, read the news wire, check out our swag as well. Follow us on X at Spaced Out Radio, Instagram at Spaced Out Radio Show, and on Patreon in the Space Travelers Club. Here we go. Khloe Devvinier. Oh, I knew I'd butcher it tonight. Khloe Chevigny. Why couldn't I say that? It got stuck. You know, after all these years of pronouncing French names in covering hockey, you think I could get Chevigny just perfectly. Chevigny.
There you go.
Yeah. Now, I don't know why after saying it perfectly all show that all of a sudden I'm going to butcher her name. Horrible, horrible host. Terrible. Khloe, just put me out of my misery here. Starseeds, here we go. Here we go. Starseeds is what we are talking about tonight. Starseeds is relatively a new age movement over the last 50 years where people have been really getting into their own spirituality and trying to find what is within. When you started delving deep within yourself, what did you like about taking this path of Starseed?
Just like wanting to make the world a better place. And I know that people say, oh, you can't change the world, but if we all like decide to go towards that direction, we'll together, like, we have to stop with the separation. And like, that's the other thing where like media and the news and all of that, like they make sure to feed us like all the negative things going on the planet, but there's so many good people on the planet too that are trying their best and like building businesses or just like trying to come together like as the community and work together. And that's what we should focus on and not feed into the illusion that they're trying to feed us and keep us in fear and anxiety and depression, because someone somewhere is benefiting from that. So we need to wake up and realize like what's going on and try our best in our own unique ways to change what's going on in the systems and all of that. So yeah, it's just growing up and like seeing how the world and the planet is being treated is like it's unacceptable. And with all the UFO like incidents being classified and all of that, it's like, to me it's criminal that they're keeping this information from us. And with everything else about history of humanity and all of that, and like even just like religions, where there's so much truth in religions, but they've been manipulated and to control people. So it's really important to me that we try our best to get out of this situation. But I see it as a positive thing. It's not like, oh no, poor us. It's like, no, we can choose to not let this happen, and together, not separated, but together.
No, I very much could see that. And more people seem to be opening up to the idea of moving along their spirituality. When you started moving along your spirituality, what did you find that you learned the most about your leaning towards life from within?
It's just like my pure intention, and like my soul is really like from like a higher frequency, and the frequency of love, unconditional love, and just like being a compassionate being, empathetic being. And I've always been very sensitive, and when I was younger, I saw it as something negative, like again, like the feminine energy being suppressed, like shut up and stop crying. But no, it's like we were very emotional beings, and like I'm still like sensitive, and I honor that part of me, because that sensitivity like allows me to empathize with beings that are being maltreated, or like someone who's in pain, or like emotional pain. Like I can almost feel that pain, and it's just like being connected to other people, and not wanting people to suffer, and but also seeing like the beauty in life, and like just like how the universe works, like synchronicities is another big part of my life. Like they call it angel numbers, but it's like, to me it's the universe or entities like trying to communicate with me. But every single day I see different numbers, like 1111, 444, 111, 555. They all have they all have like a specific meaning, and it's like when you're in tuned, they show up all the time, and you really need to ask yourself, like, what were you thinking in that moment, and developing that self-awareness. It was a long answer, but all of that, it's just fascinating how the universe communicates with me in my life, and it's just amazing.
Do you find then, as you go down this path, that you are starting to meet more starseeds who are bearing the same energy patterns that you are? Because in the end, this is all about energy and law of attraction.
Yeah, like I said, like right now, like where I live, not so much, but every day, like on social media or whatever. Like I'm meeting people, and through I've done like a few interviews, and yeah, I feel like it's just like people, like awakened people are everywhere, and like I don't know if everyone who's like awake can consider themselves to be starseeds, but I've also met starseeds that are like in their 70s, and it's really like liberating to see that people share my perspective, because there's also like, when I do interviews and stuff, like I can see that a lot of people are still close-minded, but it's like we're so many to like share our stories and our way of seeing life and having that community, even though it's not like in the physical form. Like I know that eventually I'll meet these people in real life. So it's very like, I really honor those relationships, even if they're like digital for the moment, like they're long distance friendships, but at least I have those people that I can like talk to, and they don't question me, or they like, I don't have to justify myself, because they understand who I am, and they see me for who I am. And yeah, that's the most important to me, is not feeling like I have to always justify or like prove. A lot of people want the physical proof, but it's like, it's so much more than that. That's what they don't understand, is that's the 3D is all about physical, but there's so much that is happening in the non-physical, so in other dimensions. So it's hard to put into words something that isn't 3D.
Oh, very true. Very true. Now, when you're in meditation, how do you meditate to get into your zone?
I like to meditate with like singing bowls, or just like, there's a lot of like high frequency tracks on YouTube. They're like 3 hours long. I can do silent meditation, but I feel like there's always like some noise in my apartment or outside, that like I'd prefer just like listening to at least like a binaural beats or something like that, because at least if there is some noise in the background, I don't really hear it. So yeah, I just, with my breathing, I try and like gaze towards my third eye. Sometimes I meditate. I mean, if I meditate for 10 minutes, I feel like it's not a long enough time for me to like get in the zone. So I prefer like 20-30 minutes and more. And yeah, sometimes like if I have like just automatic thoughts like pass by, I allow them, because sometimes like between two normal thoughts, like, I'll have like an idea or guidance of like, okay, I should maybe I can do this today, that will bring me more towards where I want to be. And yeah, breath work I've started doing more, and that's also a great way to meditate with your breathing, and that's very powerful too. So yeah, nothing too crazy.
No, I think it's great. Now, for people who don't know how to meditate, or say I can't slow my brain down enough to actually do it, what is your advice to them?
Just keep practicing, just keep doing it. And like I said, like sometimes like automatic thoughts will pass by, but instead of being like, damn it, like I'm not able to meditate, like that's being like in your head space, not your heart space. So practice. If you want to start with 10 minutes daily, it's something like you need to kind of commit to those practices, because I mean, you're the only one who's gonna, like, you're the only one who can do it. So if you don't try and you don't practice, you won't achieve it. But the more you do it, the more it'll become easy, and it's nothing crazy, where like sometimes it's just allowing what comes by, and not like putting pressure on yourself, because then it's like that's not being in a meditative state, if you're like judging yourself while doing it. But the more you do it, the more you'll see that you're gonna receive intuitive hints and guidance, and your higher self is gonna come through. Higher self, which is your soul, and just trust the process. You've got this.
When you're in meditation, do you ever communicate with other spirits?
Yes, sometimes I connect to my spirit guide, or I had a cat that I was very close to, like very close to. And animals, if you have cats or dogs, they're spiritual beings, and they're part of your guide too, and they also have their own mission. And yeah, so I connect with a cat that I had for 14 years, and that's also very powerful. Like, again, it's not talking, it's just like feeling her energy, her presence. And yeah, I connect a lot with animals more than like human beings that passed on. So, but my spirit guides are more like extraterrestrial and animals.
I like it. I like it. You know, like for me, when I have meditated, I've seen family members on the other side. I've communicated with my dog.
Mhm.
I've communicated with beings as well. I don't meditate as much as I probably should now, but I think I think it's because this is such a rat race
Mm.
in life that we forget to take that 5, 10, 15 minutes a day just to take a break on our own mind.
Yeah, no, like I kind of do my own schedule for now, and I'm in filmmaking, so it's like contracts here and there, but like I get to decide how I spend my day, and like it's the first thing I do in the morning. I meditate. Sometimes I do guided meditation if I want to like rewire my subconscious, and like if I have like I feel like I have limiting beliefs and all of that, I'll do guided meditations. That can be also very powerful, but you're more kind of like following what the person is saying, and like you're like repeating affirmations. So it's not really like you're not fully connecting to like your higher self or your soul. Like when, like if you want to like really receive guidance, like if you're stuck, if you feel stuck in your life and you're like, I don't know what to do, I suggest to do silent or with high frequency or whatever music. But if you're like, you know that it's like there's somewhere like you feel kind of stuck, there's so many good guided meditations. But yeah, I make it a priority because that's how I get ideas for projects, and that's where I like channel ideas and movies and stuff.
What story out of all this do you want to tell, being into film and directing. What's the alien or contact story you feel you need to tell?
I have friends that are helping me create my series where like they've had contact and they have like they communicate with extraterrestrials for like over like 60 years, like 50, 60 years. They've been on ship. They've been like they've met like the Galactic Federation. They just like not interact, but they learn from extraterrestrial beings, or the beings will like manipulate objects or like like reality, so they like purposefully like move stuff around in the house. And or like this one guy in Quebec, when I went to my first CE5 event, he had this car in his on his property that didn't have any battery in it. It was like an old like junk car. And he receives communication from extraterrestrials to give a message to someone. And he always asks for 3 confirmations. And the car, the lights would flash from the car, but there was no battery in the car. Stuff like that. Like they can do so many things. Or like someone will there's like a ship in the sky in front of many people, but half of the people they don't remember. Like they can like they choose who gets to see what, and like it's like for a specific person. That to me is like, wow, that's crazy. Like they manipulate reality. There's many stories.
The manipulation of reality can happen from anything. It can happen from ghosts, spirits, aliens, dimensional beings. Have you ever had your reality questioned by one of these?
Well, yeah, so I have this not vague, but this strong like memory of when I was under 5 years old that I was talking about, where it felt like a dream, but I've done bungee jumping, and that also felt like a dream, like just like how strange and like weird it feels when you do something like that. Like that's the feeling that I had when I recall that memory. And it's like I associate the memory with like an owl being, and like I remember like seeing my bedroom from up above, and like I'm super young, so like that memory is very, very strong, and it's really weird. So that's something like I know that they give like screen memories to like protect you if they know that it's like a easier memory for me as a child to associate it with the owl than like if there were actual extraterrestrial beings. But that's the only thing I would say that really like I still question, and I want to do a deeper past life not past life, but like hypnosis to really remember that event.
Well, we are at that time of night where we're going to say big thank you, Khloe Devvinier, for coming on Spaced Out Radio tonight. It has been an absolute pleasure to have you on the show. And we want to remind everybody that if you want to find Khloe, you can find her on Instagram at soul.aligncollective, YouTube, Khloe Devvinier, and Facebook, Khloe Devvinier as well. Thank you, Khloe, for coming on the show.
Yeah, my pleasure.
Coming up next, we got Swamp Dweller. Then Little Timmy James will be in for the UFO report. Hour 3 of Spaced Out Radio is next.
You're listening to Spaced Out Radio with your host, Dave Scott.
Thank you, Khloe. Great having you on the show.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
It's been a lot of fun. A lot of fun. We're going to bring you back for sure.
Yay. Thank you.
All right. You take care, okay?
Yeah, you too. Bye.
Good night. Khloe Devvinier, everybody. We'll be right back. Just in case. Don't say that, dude. All right. Let's go. Hey, be a little louder over there, man.
I can. We're on commercial.
Hi, I'm Tim James, and I'm freaking loud.
That's it.
Oh, your camera's not plugged in.
It's plugged in.
Oh, hold on. No, it's not. Replug it in. Oh, great, you knocked me out.
Fine. I just unplugged this one.
All right. Oh, there it is. What the hell's going on here?
No, it's plugged into where it always.
Yeah, you made my screen black. Like I got nothing, dude.
What? It just. Oh, for fuck's sake.
Oh, we only got like a minute here.
Yeah, well. Everything's plugged in, dude. Everything. You're plugged right in, man.
Okay, there. Stop.
Okay, I didn't touch anything.
All right, good.
Is this one still out, though? No, we got there. Sure.
Okay, 19 seconds here. Bring it down.
Yes.
Here we go. Here we go with the third and final hour of Spaced Out Radio tonight. My name is Dave Scott. Good to have you all with us as we continue on this one. Right after this. Hey, I want to remind or say hello to everyone listening in on our terrestrial affiliates around North America, digitally on every major podcast network. Our website, spacedoutradio.com. We have a plethora of features for you. Rock out to Bumblefoot, read the news wire, check out our swag as well. Follow us on X at Spaced Out Radio, Instagram at Spaced Out Radio Show, and on Patreon in the Space Travelers Club. The Desert Clam has set the password for tonight in the SOR Space Travelers Club. What do you got for us, Clam? Kelter. Kelter is your password. Use it wisely, Space Travelers, as the Clam sets the password each and every night right here on Spaced Out Radio. Let's head to the swamp.
Hello and welcome to Spaced Out Radio's Swamp. I'm Swamp Dweller, and tonight I'm going to take you on a mystic journey of the unknown, sharing tales of monsters, legends, and nightmares. Welcome to the Spaced Out Radio Swamp. I was raised on a farm in rural southeast Kansas, where the large wildlife consisted of deer, lots of deer, bobcats, coyotes, the occasional bear sighting, and the most elusive of all, mountain lions. Also known as cougars, big cats, or even panthers, these predators were rarely seen, yet their presence was undeniable. Hunting cameras captured fleeting images, injured livestock bore the evidence of their attacks, and on eerie nights, their piercing screams echoed through the wilderness. My family, as cattle owners, experienced this firsthand. One of our cows was found with deep, jagged claw marks raked across the sides of their neck, classic signs of a mountain lion attack. The predator had struck from above, its primal hunting method. This is the story of my close encounter with an elusive big cat. But this isn't no normal mountain lion. There was something different about this. My parents' farm was located along a blacktop road near a quiet rural intersection. Gravel roads stretched between crop fields, pastures, and scattered homesteads. These low-traveled roads made for peaceful walks and jogs, which I regularly partook in. My usual route followed a stretch of road flanked by tall cornfields extending over a block before reaching the first home. After that, The landscape returned to fields and woodlands, with another house in the distance. That second house marked my turnaround point, not by choice, but because an aggressive dog lived there. It would snarl, and it would charge if I got too close, so I pivoted before reaching the driveway. This evening the air was warm and the corn was beginning its seasonal transformation from lush green to crisp brown, signaling the coming harvest. As I entered the stretch with cornfields on both sides, I suddenly felt uneasy. The unmistakable sensation of being watched by someone or something. I kept walking, my senses on absolute high alert. Then, a rustling in the cornfield to my left made me turn my head. At first, I saw only movement, a low, slinking shape weaving through the stalks. A dog? No. As it moved, more of its body became visible. Long, sleek, and powerful. Its short coat shimmered in the fading light. A mountain lion. I think. Adrenaline surged through me. I was being stalked. Exposed, vulnerable, every instinct screamed at me to run, but I knew better than that. Running would trigger its predatory response. Instead, I fixed my eyes on the house just beyond the field. That was my goal. I forced myself to maintain a steady but brisk pace, resisting the urge to bolt. The cougar stayed parallel to me, hidden within the corn, shadowing my every step. When I finally passed the edge of the field, relief flooded me. The cat remained inside the cover of the stalks, but my ordeal was not over yet. No, not quite. The homeowners were gone. No phone to borrow, no car to take me home. Turning back was absolutely not an option. Not yet. I pressed on towards the next house, even knowing the aggressive dog awaited me. When I reached its property, I hesitated. I didn't know the owners and wasn't eager to trade one danger for another. Instead, I turned around, retracing my path. This time, as I approached the cornfields, I walked faster, more intentional, and just as before, the mountain lion had reappeared. It moved with me, never fully emerging, but never retreating either. I never let my pace down. Something that kept me even more alert was that this thing seemingly was the color of the darkness. It was blending in with the shadows. That's the biggest reason why I scratched my head wondering if this was actually a mountain lion or something different. My pace never faltered. I focused only on getting past those fields, maintaining the same strategy that had kept me safe. When I had finally cleared that final stretch of corn and reached the open road home, I exhaled, my pulse still racing. Now I never take those walks unprepared. I always have a cell phone, a small knife, and a lesson was entirely learned that day. I was hunted. By what? I'm not 100% sure, but I was hunted.
All right. Thank you, Swamp Dweller, for another crazy story. If you like them just like that, head on over to his YouTube channel. That would be Swamp Dweller. Hit subscribe, ring that bell. You got thousands of stories just like that for free. Here we go. It's a UFO report.
That is an interplanetary flying space saucer. You have made me very angry. Very angry indeed.
Little Timmy James, good to have you back in studio for the UFO report.
How we doing?
You're not allowed to get sick.
No. Then stay the heck back there.
Oh, dude, I am not feeling well.
No, but thank God you're way over on the other side of the studio.
I'm on this side. I'm on this side.
Right?
Oh, man. You know what? It started yesterday.
Really?
Yeah, it started yesterday and just went to bed last night and it was like coughing all night long. And I was like, oh, here we go.
Yep.
Because everybody around town has had this stupid throat cold.
Yep.
And I thought I dodged it. But I guess I did.
Nope. That sucks. Well, that's why it's nice. I'm lucky because I get to work in an office where with very few people around.
Yeah, you're lucky.
Yeah.
You're lucky, man. Well, it's good to have you back.
Yeah, I'm
friend.
glad. I'm happy to be here.
How'd your sleep test go? Many people have been asking how your sleep test went.
It went well. They went well. Yeah. What an unbelievable pain in the behind to get hooked up to stuff, and then just relax and go to sleep, and you got things in your nose and wherever hooked all over you, strapped to your body. But yeah, things went well. I will find out the results probably in about 4 or 5 days. But one of the people at the place that I went, I'm not going to give any names, she was super cool. So when they downloaded the data off of the little monitor thing that I was wearing, I said, I'm not going to hold you to this, but what are we looking at? And she goes, well, I really can't say. And she turned the computer screen. I was like, oh. She goes, that almost looks as if it would be almost severe, but highly middle of the road, but above the middle. So I was like, okay, so that means I better start picking out machinery. She goes, I can't officially say anything, but yeah, let's have a look around. So we'll see. I'll be hooked up to the machine probably in the next week.
What I'm curious is to see how many out of the minutes you slept, how many were you not breathing?
No, it wasn't minutes. I had episodes. I already know that. I had anywhere between 16 and 30 an hour.
Mm-hmm. When I did my sleep test, I was asleep for 425 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
I was not breathing for 261 of those minutes.
Amazing, right?
Yeah. Like I was literally dying every night.
Yeah.
For years, man.
I know. I've been doing it for years too.
And you know what? I will say this because I was one of these dudes who was like, I ain't getting one of those machines and I'm never doing that. How stupid is that?
Uh-huh.
What do I need an iron lung for?
Exactly.
And now that I have my my CPAP, I'll tell you, man, I have not slept that good in years, man.
Well, that's awesome. And it's funny because that's what a few people at the clinic said to me too. Said, when you get it, you are going to be over the top happy about it. I mean, you were the first one to say that. You're going to be amazed how well you feel. But
oh yeah, I will say this though. I have found myself downgrading, like especially now that I've grown the beard.
Right.
I can't get a good seal on my nose, so I've actually gone to wearing a full mask now. And I'll tell you, I hated it at first. I love it now.
Really?
I find it so easy because when I do go to accidentally breathe out of my mouth, because when you're with the nose pillows, you can't breathe out of your mouth.
Right.
But when I accidentally do breathe out of my mouth, because I'm a mouth breather, not a nose breather, due to too many hockey fights, I am still waking up great, man.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see how this turns out. I'm a little nervous about it, but that's okay.
No worries, man. When we go through the airport in Vegas here in a couple of weeks, just remember your CPAP is considered medical condition, so you can carry that on the plane.
Nice. I'll be doing that.
Yeah. Nah, man, it's going to be good once you get it.
Cool.
Yeah.
Good.
Here's what I noticed.
Mm-hmm.
Not to get too graphic.
No.
I stopped drooling at night.
Okay.
Yeah, I was apparently had developed drooling for the last couple of months prior to me getting on it.
I haven't got that far.
Yeah. I stopped waking up 2 to 6 times a night to go to the bathroom.
Oh, well, that'd be nice.
Yeah, and I realized that the reason why I was waking up to go to the bathroom that many times was because that was my body literally giving me a jolt, like I had, like the body has its own paddles.
Yes.
Okay?
Clear.
Zap them again.
Zap them again.
Right. And that was my body's cue that I'm not breathing at night. So it made me all of a sudden have to go to the bathroom.
Mm-hmm.
I don't toss and turn anymore.
Yeah.
I don't talk in my sleep because usually around 5 to 6 a.m., I would start talking in my sleep every night.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. Now, apparently I didn't say anything too controversial.
Oh, thank goodness.
That's good. That's good.
I'm looking forward to getting rid of those leg twitches. I get wicked leg twitches.
Yeah, I got rid of those too.
Oh, okay, good.
I got rid of those too. Oh yeah, man. It's amazing what oxygen can do.
Really? Eh?
Yeah. And when you're
kind of addicted to it.
And when you're breathing at night, it's really good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So
I can hardly wait.
Yeah, man. It's going to be good for you.
Yes, I know.
It'll be good for you.
And I know that the missus is like, oh, thank God.
No more snoring.
Yeah.
No more.
Yeah, absolutely.
No doing snoring anymore.
I can hardly wait.
Yeah.
No headaches in the morning.
So what do you think of Katy Perry and the rich girls going up into space?
That was so exciting. Yeah, you nailed it. Not very impressive. Yeah, I think it's just another. I mean, okay, it's cool. I mean, who wouldn't want to do it? I mean, I'm sure that there's some people that wouldn't, but I know I would. But boy, it's the rich folk that get invited on, and it's Katy Perry and the news, the lady from the news. I don't remember all their names, and somebody's spouse. Yeah, all 11 minutes of it. I mean, again, I would love to do it, but I'm just watching the famous people do it is just like surprise.
I think that's what kind of annoys me about Blue Origin.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's great that they are taking people up.
Sure.
Okay, but what is it, like 25 million a person or something like that? That gets you up there?
I think so.
Yeah. That to me is a little ridiculous.
For 11 minutes?
Yeah, I just don't understand. And here's the thing that bugs me the most.
Mm-hmm.
It's not that it's a rich person's game. That doesn't bother me.
Right.
Okay, because when you have money, you get certain perks in life.
Okay, fair enough.
I will never own a $30 million a yacht. No. Not that I would ever go on one or buy one, but I'll never own my own Bombardier Lear, jet.
Sure.
I'll never own my Gulfstream that I would love to have. I'd love to fly on just once.
Mm-hmm.
I'll never probably fly first class.
Oh.
Okay. But I'm okay with that. I don't mind the cargo bay. Except when I got like 6'5" dude sitting beside me. Okay. Squishing me like my last flight.
You want to see out the window?
I was in the window seat.
I know, that's what I mean.
That's the problem. Okay. But here's the thing that bugs me about it.
Yeah.
Technically speaking, because they've been up there, they earn the title of astronaut.
Do they? I didn't know that.
Yes.
Really?
They're not astronauts.
No.
Okay.
No.
Like in my opinion, they're not astronauts. They're on a joyride for 11 minutes, up in space.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's just, you can't be considered an astronaut by just sitting in a chair, undoing your seatbelt, then putting your seatbelt back on to come down.
No, I would have to say that you're right there. I mean, all the testing. Okay, so officially a real astronaut, my gosh, years and years and years and years of everything. I mean, they're spending more than 11 minutes out there, and they're going way farther out, granted. But yeah, that's kind of a title that you really have to work for. I didn't think it was an honorary thing.
All right, so I just Googled this.
Yeah.
According to the website,
mm-hmm.
Blue Origin potential passengers have to pay a $150,000 deposit. It is refundable.
Oh, good thing.
To start the order process. Okay. Now, the actual cost of it all, it doesn't say. It says one of the highest bids for a seat was $28 million.
Holy. Okay, then. I mean, I'm gathering it's not cheap to launch one of those. Don't get me wrong. I see, but holy mac.
Mm-mm. You must be 18 years of age or older.
To ride this ride?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Wow. Well, like I say, I think I'd like to do it. I've always wanted to do that anti-gravity thing where you go up in the empty 747. Yes. That'd be a blast.
I would totally do wrestling moves in that.
Oh, exactly.
You have to.
Oh, yeah.
You absolutely have to.
Yep. Coming off the top rope with an elbow. And, oh, heck yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. 100%. Yeah. But in reality, you know what? I know that's the next space is the next frontier.
Yes.
Okay. And it's going to be amazing. And just like everything else, like when flat screen TVs came out, to get a 40-inch flat screen TV was like $10,000. Remember that?
Cha-ching. Yep.
Right. And
I do.
now you can buy a 100-inch screen for like $5,000.
Yeah.
And it's got way better technology in it.
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
Right. I mean, everything starts off at a high cost.
Mhm.
So the premium people get to say they got to do it first.
Oh, yeah.
But the cool part about Katy Perry going up into space, never mind that I have a crush on her.
Okay.
She is my celebrity crush.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm not going to lie. Oh, Katy. Anyways, she got aliens.
Oh, yes. That's right.
She sings about aliens.
Mhm.
She's talked about having some aliens.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I can understand why she went up. A lot of people are like, why does Katy Perry get to go up there? She's got money and she's got aliens.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't she want to go up there?
Oh, for sure. Well, like I say, if it was offered to me, I don't know if I'd pay that, but I would love to do it.
Oh, man. I'd do it in a heartbeat.
Mm-hmm.
Heartbeat.
I'd even ask, can I fly it?
I don't think anybody flies it. That's the scary
I
part.
was just going to say that's the part that freaks me out.
Yeah. But that would be the ultimate roller coaster ride.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And wasn't it Jeff Bezos' wife was up there as well, wasn't she? I think she went on that, and that I can't remember the other one. Doesn't matter. It just pretty interesting. And I don't know. For me, it wasn't on my radar for a news event, but again, I guess we're just kind of taking it for granted. Oh, and somebody else went for a space ride.
Well, as long as Gail King got to go.
Oh, right.
Where's Oprah? Why didn't Oprah go?
Yeah. And you all get a rocket ship ride.
Mm-hmm. You get a rocket ship and you get a rocket ship. I would go.
Yeah. No question.
I would if I had the money to do it, and Lord knows that's a lot of radio shows and YouTube super chats in order to make it happen.
Yeah. See, and I think we were talking about it earlier. I understand William Shatner going up. Captain Kirk. I understood that. That was okay. That seemed to be cohesive. But again, just the 7 women that went up there. Did you realize that out of 700 people in space, only 15% of those have ever been women?
That I did not know.
It's just a stat.
Well, I guess that makes sense because women didn't start going into space until, what was it, the Columbia shuttle in 1982, 83.
Yeah.
With, what's her name? Sally Ride.
Yep.
I got to meet her.
Did you really?
I did when I was a kid. I got to meet her. She was actually at the Abbotsford Air Show.
Oh, no way.
Yeah.
That's cool.
That was one of the coolest experiences. And somewhere, I don't even know if I still have it, but somewhere I have her autograph.
No way.
Yeah, I would have to find it.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
It's probably in here somewhere.
No, it might be in a box over there.
Put it away. Yeah.
It might be in a box, but yeah, that was really cool.
No doubt.
Yeah.
Wow. No, I've never met an astronaut.
No. Ground control to Major Tom.
Oh, we're going to start singing, are we?
You know what my favorite version of the Major Tom extension is?
No.
Is the, what's his name now? I downloaded it. Oh, my God. It was the 80s version. What was his name?
I know which one. Somebody will pop it up there.
I keep thinking Peter Gabriel, but it's not Peter Gabriel.
Oh, Joe. That's my line. I'm not an astronaut, but I've played one on TV. Yes.
Peter Schilling.
Yes.
Peter Schilling's Major Tom.
Mm-hmm.
That was a good extension of the original.
Yeah. Yeah.
Come on. 4, 3, 2, 1.
Yeah, that's right.
There's also a really good techno version of that song.
Oh, is there?
I downloaded that too.
I'm not a techno guy, but that's okay.
So we're going to get, after the break, we're going to get into a really weird story that came out of a document release out of the CIA.
Yep.
That may have had a battle between Russians and aliens.
Correct, sir.
I mean, this is absolutely... If it's true, it's petrifying.
Yeah, literally.
Okay, like Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, this story's going to get real weird, people.
Mm-hmm.
Really weird when we get back from the break here at the UFO report, because if this happened, let's not piss the aliens. Okay? Let's not upset them. Okay? Don't spike their coffee. Just be nice.
This is Spaced Out Radio, and your host, Dave Scott.
Eating the cable?
Dude, you're talking when I need silence. I'm going to throw this piece of cable at you right
Hey,
now.
I'm rusty.
Yeah. I've been here for 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Well, a week and a half.
Yeah,
Yeah.
true.
Uh-huh.
Got to get my timing down.
Do-do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do. That's why I hate YouTube, because I would love to play the song.
Yes, agreed.
Uh-huh. It's not a threat narrative when you shoot first, Rob.
No.
It's a defense narrative on their part. Gary M., how you doing? Welcome to SOR Chat.
Do. Okay, don't need all that.
Do-do-do-do-do.
Boom, 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 boom. There we go. So you're going to do some Neocitrin before you go to bed?
NyQuil.
Ooh,
I'm just going to knock myself out.
Really? I can't take that stuff. It's like,
What's really good is when you take 2.
no.
Oh.
Or is it the drink or just the
No, the pills, man.
Still.
No, they go right down, and within like 2 minutes, you're like in lava land.
Dreaming of purple dinosaurs and stuff.
Oh, man. Dreaming of sweet Robbie G dancing around with a burrito in his hand. You know?
I'm not taking NyQuil.
Uh,
No offense, Rob.
Usually, you know the Mayday, the ribbon around the pole.
Yeah.
Imagine about 20 Robbie G's doing that with a burrito in one hand and a ribbon in the other.
Oh, my
Yep.
goodness. That's stretching it.
I never understood that pole thing.
The maypole?
Yeah.
I don't know. Some sort of tradition, I think.
Uh-huh. Don't like it.
Yeah, well, obviously it's a tradition, but I don't know where it comes from.
Yeah, sweet Robbie G. Burrito in one hand.
Oh, I saw your action figure.
Yeah. Jeremy Jones made an action figure of me. I think I got it here. Hold on. Let's see if I can pull it up here.
T-Bone. Yeah, exactly, buddy.
Where did I put it?
Didn't you post it in...
No, I got it here somewhere.
Yeah.
Now I'm not going to be able to find it. You jerk.
I thought I found it on a Facebook page or something.
Hold on. There we go.
Oh, there's Rob throwing the burns.
Mm. There it is.
Let's see it.
Hold on. Present, share screen. Is that it? There it is. How awesome is this?
Yeah.
Wait, here it comes.
We're on the delay.
Uh-huh.
Brought to you by Hasbro. Dave Scott.
With the Taco Bell bag.
I love it.
Oh, yeah. Do you know how much I want one of these right now?
What, a Taco Bell?
Well, both. The
Oh,
Taco
okay.
Bell and the action figure.
No kidding.
That would be awesome. That would be awesome. Thank you tonight to Flat Six, T-Bone, Fast Hemi times 2, Marty Burback, Blue Cruise, and Chris. Do you want to do it or should I?
Team.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
You know, your throat's sore.
I'd love to get that. I would totally own that, man.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. All right. We're coming back in like, I don't know, what is that? 10 seconds. Randolph Guerrera, welcome to SOR Chat. Here we go with the final half hour of Spaced Out Radio tonight. My name is Dave Scott. We got little Timmy James in the studio for the UFO report. And a weird one coming at you here that you don't want to miss. But first, or as that guy on the TikTok always says, until.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. Until TikTok guy.
Okay.
I used him in my report going to
Nebraska.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Anyways,
Uh-huh.
what am I doing here? Oh, yeah. Reminder to all of you that you can check out our free archives on YouTube or any major podcast network. Our website, spacedoutradio.com. We have a plethora of features for you. Rock out to Bumblefoot, read the news wire, check out our swag as well. Follow us on X at Spaced Out Radio, Instagram, Spaced Out Radio Show, and on Patreon in the Space Travelers Club. He's Timmy James. I'm Dave Scott. This is a UFO report. And apparently, there is a really weird story that comes from the CIA.
Correct.
Regarding a real brouhaha between the Russians and the aliens.
Yes. So this report. So after Mikhail Gorbachev dissolved in 1991 the KGB, Top Secret Intelligence Administration, a lot of material from that department found their way abroad, in particular to the CIA. As reported by the authoritative magazine Canadian Weekly World News, U.S. intelligence obtained a 250-page file on the attack by a UFO on a military unit in Siberia. The file contains not only many documentary photographs and drawings, but also testimonies by actual participants in the events. One of the CIA representatives referred to the case as a horrific picture of revenge on the part of extraterrestrial creatures, a picture that makes one's blood freeze. So, according to the KGB materials, a quiet, low-flying spaceship in the shape of a saucer appeared above a military unit that was conducting routine training maneuvers for unknown reasons. Somebody unexpectedly launched a surface-to-air missile and hit the UFO. It fell to Earth not far away, and 5 short humanoids with large heads and large black eyes emerged from it. It is stated in the testimonies by the 2 soldiers who remained alive that after freeing themselves from the debris, the aliens came close together and then merged into a single object that acquired a spherical shape. That object began to buzz and hiss sharply, and then became brilliant white. In a few seconds, the spheres grew much bigger and exploded by flaring up with an extremely bright light. At that very instant, 23 of those soldiers who had watched the phenomenon turned into stone. That's what I said, stone poles. Only 2 soldiers who stood in the shade were less exposed to the luminous explosion. They actually survived. The KG report goes on to say that the remains of the UFO and the petrified soldiers were transferred to a secret scientific research institution near Moscow. Specialists assume that a source of energy that is still unknown to Earthlings instantly changed the structure of the soldiers' living organisms, having transformed it into a substance whose molecular composition is no different from that of limestone. A CIA representative stated, if the KGB file corresponds to reality, this is an extremely menacing case. The aliens possess such weapons and technology that go beyond all our assumptions. They can stand up for themselves if they're attacked. No kidding.
This is scary if this is actually true. Okay. Yeah. And the sad part about it is this is one of those stories where it's a trust me bro situation.
It is. It is a trust me bro situation, but you actually can find the official redacted documents online. They are there. So, I mean, anybody can make a report. I'm not saying it, but
I mean, to all of a sudden get a bunch of aliens to go all of Medusa on the soldiers.
Yeah. It's,
and they describe the way they describe the beings. I mean, they're classic alien grays.
Mm-hmm.
You know, with the big gray heads and the big black eyes. I mean, they describe them perfectly.
Well, and everybody, but the grays are friendly. Well, you know what? If you're getting shot at, and if that's the case, you're going to be a little agitated, I'm thinking.
Especially if you're shot down.
Yeah.
But I've never heard of grays coming together, forming a bright white orb.
No.
And then toasting everybody to the point of petrification.
No doubt. And it'd be interesting. I mean, obviously, who knows? Are the 2 soldiers that are allegedly that weren't turned to stone, are they still kicking around somewhere? Like, can we get answers from these guys at all? Or
the KGB probably had them all locked up.
I wouldn't doubt it. Now, in saying this, apparently, I read on the outside of this that this document was never classified. It was never a classified document of the occurrence. I don't know why it wouldn't be, but when you see the document, it's redacted all over the place. So well, this happened way back in the day, and this we don't have to worry about. This isn't a classified thing, but like I say, if it's redacted, then wouldn't that be classified?
Depends on what part is redacted.
Well, yeah.
If they're giving names, you know.
Yeah. So I don't know. It's kind of one of them freaky deaky things.
Yeah. And I don't take that as part of a threat narrative.
No.
Because that's a defense narrative on their part.
Well, yeah.
I mean, you get shot down. I mean, that's going to ruin anybody's day.
Just a little bit. And you're going to react, I would think. I mean, it's like anything.
I mean, it's not like it's literally not like you know, going to the old video store back in the day and not rewinding the tape. You know, you did that a bunch of times.
Rebel.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. So, interesting story. So, did you manage to watch the video yet with Greer and Jesse Michaels?
I have not watched Greer and Michaels yet.
Thank you, Nicole Sakic, for turning me on to that video. Holy cow. So if anybody hasn't seen it yet, it's 3.5 hours long, and Jesse Michaels and Stephen Greer get heated. So all I did is try to summarize as much as I could, because I can't put 3.5 hours into a 4-minute report, right? So Dr. Stephen Greer's explosive interview with Jesse Michaels, in a recent interview that has set the UFO research community abuzz, Dr. Stephen Greer, a prominent ufologist and founder of the Disclosure Project, sat down with Jesse Michaels, host of the YouTube channel American Alchemy, to discuss extraterrestrial phenomenon, government secrecy, and the future of UFO disclosure. The conversation has been described as heated and crazy. And from the very little I saw of it, it gets a little hot. So it's Dr. Stephen Greer, a retired physician turned UFO researcher, has long been a polarizing figure in the realm of extraterrestrial studies. The exchange was anything but tame. Some comments described it as Greer getting heated, suggesting a passionate defense for his positions, while others called it crazy, hinting at bold or surprising revelations. While the full interview is accessible through Michael's YouTube channel, clips and highlights are circulating online, indicating that Greer doubled down on several key assertions. So, suppressed alien technology, Greer reiterated his claim that clean, limitless energy technologies derived from extraterrestrial sources exist. Whistleblower testimonies, Greer emphasized his work with hundreds of high-level whistleblowers, including military and corporate insiders, who allegedly corroborated his claims about UAP crash retrievals and reverse engineering programs. Staged alien threats. Consistent with his past warnings, Greer suggested that recent UAP sightings, such as drone crisis in New Jersey, might be part of a psychological operation to prepare the public for a false flag alien invasion. Narrative orchestrated to justify increased military control. What set this interview apart was the dynamics between Greer and Michaels. Jesse Michaels, whose platform often explores the intersections of science, culture, and unconventional ideas, is known for asking probing questions that challenge his guests. Greer doesn't back down, but you can tell Michaels isn't just nodding along, capturing the tension that seems to have defined the exchange. Unlike Greer's previous appearances on platforms like Joe Rogan Experience, where he faced less direct skepticism, Michaels' approach forced Greer to navigate tough questions about the lack of tangible proof for his extraordinary assertions.
Let me hold you right there for a second. Greer, only went on that for a couple of reasons.
Right.
Okay. In watching Greer's past, okay, he's a smart marketing man.
Yeah.
And he knows that Jesse Michaels is right now the key to the UFO story. We've talked about that on this show.
Yeah.
So it makes sense for Greer to go on that.
Yeah.
The fact that Jesse Michaels is now kind of stealing Greer's spotlight with the reports and the podcast and everything, that makes sense that it would be a little bit adversarial.
True.
And a little bit tense between the two. So, I mean, the idea behind it is, Greer is somebody who is controversial in this area.
Yeah.
Very controversial. And the fact that him and Jesse Michaels kind of dropped the gloves a little bit. Oh, it was good. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, thanks. So the interview definitely has generated significant buzz online, particularly among UFO enthusiasts and skeptics alike. Reactions range from excitement over Greer's bold statements to frustration over the lack of new concrete revelations. Same old Greer, big claims, no receipts. Echoing a common critique that his work, while compelling, often falls short of empirical substantiation. Excuse me. Others praised his persistence, with one post calling him the only one still fighting for the truth. If you have not had a look at this video, my goodness, even the trailer for the beginning of it is like, oh, it's going to be a dust up. And yeah, he just keeps telling Jesse Michaels, you're not letting me finish. Let me finish what I'm saying. You keep interrupting me. And it gets hot. And Nicole, bless her heart, I talked to her today, or back and forth with her today. She's watched it, I think, twice. And she goes, Greer actually gets really loose lippy in this, right? So we'll see what actually happens and see what goes on with that, because it's going to be a good one. It is a good one.
Yeah. And the fact that these two, they're fighting for control of the narrative right now. Okay. They really are. And, I don't know if Jesse Michaels is doing it on purpose or whether or not he fully gets it, but they are doing it for control of the narrative.
Yeah.
And therefore, it's very, very interesting to watch it come out to play.
Yeah, it is. And I think, like I said, if you get into it, it's on his YouTube channel. Check it out. It's very interesting for sure. For sure. Very contentious by the looks of things.
Yeah, no kidding, man. No kidding.
Excuse me, man. You're giving me your cold, I think.
Well, where's your Halls?
I gave them to you.
I have some.
Oh, my goodness.
You're the one reading. You might want to have some of
No,
those.
that's okay.
Right?
Gosh.
Hey, everybody, let me hack into the microphone.
Yeah, oh, yeah, that's perfect.
Sounds beautiful.
No, it doesn't. Oh, get a throat transplant or something every time.
No worries, buddy. I'm just teasing.
I know you are.
You know that.
Yes, I do. So, anyway,
We got 6 minutes.
okay. So let's see here. An interesting little story. In the winter of 1993, a chilling and little publicized alien abduction case unfolded in rural Quebec, involving a man named Mark Hebert. This incident, documented by local investigator Claude McDuff, but rarely discussed outside niche UFO circles, carries a suspenseful edge due to his isolated settings and Mark's harrowing account. So Mark, a 32-year-old mechanic, was driving home alone on a remote stretch on Route 132 near Gaspé Peninsula late at night after repairing a friend's truck. Around 1 a.m., his radio cut to static and his truck's engine sputtered as a blinding light enveloped the road. Thinking it was a helicopter or a plane, he pulled over, heart pounding, only to see a massive silent disc-shaped object hovering above the tree line, its edges pulsating with amber and green lights. Before he could react, Mark felt his body go numb, his vision blurring, and if time itself slowed. He came to in a cold metallic chamber, lying on a smooth table, his limbs heavy and unresponsive. Shadowy figures, small with elongated heads and eyes like polished obsidian, moved around him, their motions eerily synchronized. No sound came from them, but Mark felt a pressure in his mind, like a voice probing his thoughts, asking questions he couldn't grasp. One figure leaned close, its face inches from his, and inserted a needle-like device into his abdomen, sending a jolt of pain through his body. Panic surged, but he couldn't scream. The air smelled acrid, like burnt metal, and the walls seemed to shimmer, disorienting him further. Hours later, or so it felt, Mark woke up in his truck, parked haphazardly off the road. His key still in the ignition, but the engine dead. His watch read 4:17 a.m. Yet he couldn't account for nearly 3 hours. His shirt was torn, and a faint crescent-shaped mark marred his stomach. Tender to the touch, shaken, he drove home, plagued by nightmares of those eyes watching him from the dark. What adds suspense to Mark's story is the subtle evidence. His truck battery was inexplicably drained though it was brand new. And the neighbor later mentioned seeing a strange glow in the sky that night, but dismissed it as a meteor. Mark sought hypnosis with McDuff, revealing fragmented memories of being shown a star map and hearing a telepathic warning about watching the skies. Skeptics could chalk it up to exhaustion or vivid hallucinations, perhaps triggered by the isolation of the drive. But Mark's lack of UFO interest prior to the physical marks baffled local doctors. The case faded into obscurity as Mark refused publicity, fearing ridicule. Yet for years after, he avoided driving alone at night, haunted by the feeling that something was still out there waiting for him.
Yep.
No, thank you.
Oh, the old steel table. I mean, this is more than a WWE's table ladders and chairs match.
Absolutely.
That's for sure. Definitely a little bit more than that. I mean, you know what? When you go into that, you remember the table?
No, thank you.
No, thank you. since you won't be here tomorrow,
Yes.
you know what tomorrow is?
Tuesday.
Tomorrow is
Wednesday,
the
Thursday? I don't know.
11th anniversary of the day I met Samantha Mowat.
Oh, really?
And she walks me into the forest 25 minutes later, see them aliens.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I got aliens first time in 11 years ago today.
Wow.
Or tomorrow, pardon me. Yeah.
Congratulations? Or?
Yeah, I guess so. You know, I might get myself some flowers for that.
Yeah, no doubt. Never met Samantha yet.
Oh, you will.
She's elusive.
Yeah, she'll be coming down soon.
Cool.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
I'd like to have her in studio for a show.
That'd be cool.
Yeah. It's hard because, you know, doing the parenting thing and.
Oh, yeah, I guess so.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. But.
Oh. Wow, that's interesting.
Yeah, 11 years ago.
Huh.
Hard to believe.
No kidding. Time flies when you have some fun.
Yeah, little did I know that I'd be dedicating my life to these topics after this. Holy cow.
But that's okay.
I'm okay with it, to be blunt. I'm quite
sure.
okay with it.
Mm-hmm.
I've come to terms with it.
Well, yeah.
And I'm good.
Yeah, that's good.
You
I think
know?
we're all good with you being here, Dave.
Well, I should hope so. But man, you know, it's funny because I was talking on WPHT in Philadelphia earlier today.
Oh, yes.
With host Gary Arnell, who was filling in for Walter M. Sterling. And he was asking me about my first experience. And then he asked me about skeptics.
Mm-hmm.
You know, how do you deal with skeptics who say, you know what, I don't believe you that this happened to you or that you've seen Bigfoot or UFOs or whatever. And I answered it this way. I said, I don't care anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I used to care.
Yeah.
I used to try and have everybody, you know, you got to be on my side because I'm not going to lie to you.
Yeah.
And then I realized that was a losing battle for some people, not the majority,
right?
For some people. And then I realized that the majority of people, they believe me because they believe in this show.
Sure.
And they believe in the credibility that we brought.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, you're always going to have somebody out there who's going to be, you know, not as open-minded, shall we say.
Sure. Fair enough.
You know, because I'm okay with skeptics. Okay. But the one thing I did say was, you know, when you have something happen in front of you
mm-hmm.
where your brain cannot comprehend what your eyes are seeing,
right?
The last thing you remember to do is pull a camera out of your pocket.
Oh, yeah.
And the sightings or the happenings are usually so fleeting. You don't have time.
Yep.
You don't have time. And that's the way it is.
Yep.
Little Timmy James, thank you for a great show. Ron Bumblefoot Fowl. Wherever you may be, thank you to everyone in our chat rooms tonight. YouTube, Twitch, LGET, Facebook, Space Travelers Club, and on X, hashtag Space Down Radio.
I know you're out there somewhere.
Remember, this show is copyright by Space Down Radio and it's Media Ventures Limited. Thank you so much for sharing with us. Because together, my friends,
we're watching.
we watched you Mr. Bumblefoot. We need a favor.
You to fall. We expose you all. I know you're out there somewhere. Watching me.
Yes, the word training has done for the night. This is my friends who show up right again. She's out available. Inspired spot. If you want to bring a friend, we've got room for you. Good night, everybody. Here we go.
Cool. Honest to God, man. I'm sitting there reading, and then it's just like Right there.
So a couple tricks to that.
Okay.
Number one,
This.
have your halls when you just get the feeling that it's going to go.
Yep.
That's when you take your halls.
Okay.
And number two, always have your water in your hand. You notice me going like
Yeah,
this,
yeah.
like take a drink.
Yep.
I could tell that it was coming. I could hear it in your voice.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's just like,
Yeah.
and I think you know what it is. It's this. When I'm leaning down,
Yep. That would be why.
because I don't have that problem.
So bring your iPad up.
I could do that, or I'll just get a teleprompter. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, you're right. You're right. I think it's when I'm leaning down. Yeah, that's exactly
You're
what
cutting
it is.
your oxygen level off.
I'm used to that.
Yeah.
Apologize to everybody in the
No.
listening audience. Oh my God.
All right. Another thing,
Mm-hmm.
just turning your head to cough. Move your microphone.
This is pretty echoey though, isn't it? Compared.
Don't worry about it.
Okay.
Move your microphone.
Well, it's better than the cough, I suppose, right?
Yeah, because you're hacking right into our ears.
Yeah, exactly.
Just like when I accidentally hack into the ears.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got that high pitch hack right now, like I do.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-oh.
Mm.
No more smooching under the bleachers.
No. Let's just blame Rob.
Yeah.
Got
Let's
our
blame Rob.
Got our microphones dirty after
Jesus.
the weekend.
Yeah, Rob. Lemon, honey, and warm brandy. Oh, that'll work. That's so weird. It just, yeah, whatever. Blame Canada. What? Elbows up, Rob.
We don't elbows up. You know the funny part about it is the whole thing with the elbows up theme.
Mm-hmm.
That's a penalty.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Why wouldn't they say shoulders up?
Well, because you want to do a Gordie Howe, elbows up.
Yeah, but that's a penalty.
But it's Gordie Howe.
Yeah, but
It's Gordie freaking Howe.
I understand it's Gordie Howe. Show me a liberal that's played hockey.
I don't know.
And there's two weirdos that are running the whole thing, and they're both goalies. Mark Carney and Gerald Butts.
They're both goalies.
You never trust a goalie to run anything.
No, that's true. It's like having a drummer in your band run something. You don't do that.
You know,
I get it.
That's the music equivalent of goalies running a country.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, would be the equivalent of all the groupie ladies going to the bass player.
That never worked.
It never works. It never happens. You know, I'd hate to be Kip Winger. You know,
God.
where literally good-looking guy. You know,
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
got the good voice, but he plays bass guitar, so all the groupies go around him to everybody else.
That's right. Yeah.
Right?
She was just 17. Oh, Kip.
It's such a looking back on that song. It's such a bad song.
Oh, totally.
I would kill that guy if it was
I know.
my daughter.
I know.
Like she's not even. I don't know what the legal age is, but 18, man. If 18.
Listen to the story on if you ever get to listen, look it up. And why did Kip write that song? Him and his buddy wrote it.
Mhm.
It's like, bro.
Yeah.
Mm.
Like, why couldn't you just say she's only 19
Yeah, exactly.
or 18?
Something.
Yeah. Let's go down the Epstein list on that one, right?
Oh gosh.
Right.
No. No.
Mm. Ugh.
Well, I was only 28 when I wrote it.
Right. You're old enough to be your dad.
Exactly.
Right? Because Kip Winger was one of those guys who was like, when he was like 21, he looked 46.
I know. He did.
That's what we're talking about, Tim. Winger had a song. She's only 17. Way to go, Tim.
Thanks, Tips.
Tug that beard for us.
Thanks
Remember,
for keeping up.
Remember, if you're going to our Vegas party on May 1st to 5th, if you show up, you get one free tug of Tim Mothman's goatee.
That's right. Oh
God.
How many more sleeps?
16.
Something, yeah.
And somehow I got to go to Nebraska between.
Lucky.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
man.
Yep.
All right, because of our sore voices, I'm going to cut this off early here tonight, guys. Tomorrow night on the show, Robert Osborne joins us. We're going to get into a little bit of true crime with this Canadian researcher and author, Robert. Hi, Robert. Robert. Don't forget, guys, Robert will be having a show here right after this show over on his channel, The Social Dig. Go see Robert. Robert, I love you, Robert. I am your girlfriend. Robert, remember me.
Don't forget to get my toothbrush, Robert.
I can't wait.
I know.
I can't wait to Vegas, man. When Robbie's with Rupert with us, it's going to be Rupert the entire time through the casino, man. Rupert, where are you, Rupert?
Oh, I can't stop seeing him now.
Oh my God.
Oh, thanks, Bomber. Love you too.
Shoulders up, people.
I only got one real one.
Yep, shoulders up. I can't wait.
Yeah, it's
I
gonna
can't
be
wait
good
for election day.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Rupert calls us jackasses.
No, Rupert. Come on, Rupert. We love you, Rupert.
Thank you tonight to C.S. Deborah Rooney, Flat 6, Fast Hemi times 2, T-Bone, my man, Blue Cruise, Chris, Teen, and Marty Burback for the Super Chats. Head on over to Sweet Robbie G's. He's already posted the link in the chat room just above if you scroll on up, and he'll take it over from here. The rest of us, well, hopefully we're feeling better tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
Good night, everybody.
Stay healthy, my friend.
You too.
If you need bail money, give me a call.
Always, Dad. Take care.
You too.